Good morning, coffee moaners.
Good morning, coffee moaners. Lovely to see you.
What a fun-packed, content-rich weekend it was.
Was it? I can't remember any single part of the weekend.
You weren't there.
Oh, I remember though that we did show in the members area. Our new downstairs.
Oh, I mean, we filmed Betty and Teddy came around for dinner last night. It was a very stressful arrival for them. The dogs were going nuts. Toffee was really kind of feeling upstaged by decor.
Yeah.
That was her problem
Yeah,
yesterday.
she was like, a diva.
Yeah,
Stop looking at the walls and look at me.
Yeah, why are they looking at walls and not me? I mean, proper.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
But did I sense that your mum was a little underwhelmed?
No, not at all. My mum is, that's
okay.
Just how my mum is.
Right.
My mum is not, and maybe that's why I'm so over the top, because my mum is so like, she loved it.
She's level-headed.
Very level-headed.
Very level-headed. Yeah.
So yeah, it's lovely, and you will be seeing it soon.
Yeah. No,
I want to say hello to Jill, because Jill listens to us on podcast.
I think you said hello to Jill yesterday. I said hello to Jill on Friday or Saturday in the coffee papers, and yeah, Jill. Hello, Jill. Hope you had a lovely meal on Friday.
Yes, Jill is we told you yesterday about Jill. Jill was the person who bought the lunch with the Fab Four at the auction that we did for the In Her Two campaign, and she's a very loyal sub as well.
Bless.
So it was really lovely, and lovely to hear some of her feedback.
Nice.
She says you need to stop swearing.
Fuck that.
She didn't say that.
No, sorry. You pulled it out of me right at the start.
But anyway, a very bizarre thing happened today. I slept in till 9:30. That's why we're a bit later. I came downstairs, said to Mum, what's happening? We're live at 10.
I was going through the stories and everything and taking the kids to school, and I thought, well, maybe she needs to sleep.
I know, it was very kind of you, but now I'm discombobulated.
Maybe she needs to sleep, or maybe, and then of course that thought creeps into your head of maybe she's dead.
God, of course it does.
It always rapidly. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is the Grammys last night. Lots of news from the Grammys. We're going to be talking about the sensational footage of. We're going to show it, though I have done some pixelation of Kanye's Bianca Censori and their curious episode on the red carpet as she bared all. I mean. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Where has she got left to go after going where she went to last night? But it's less the nudity that worries me, more how he stood alongside her. We're talking about the fact that in certain parts of Scotland, they're talking about introducing a cat ban. A cat ban. They're not allowed to have cats, potentially. We're also going to be talking about Donald Trump's tariff madness. He's just gone, I've gone tariff mad. I just love tariffs in my tea. I love tariffs everywhere.
I think you should do a bit of an explanation of what it actually means, because it's tariff.
Quite
a few people at work the other day said, I don't actually know what the tariffs, what it actually means, how it impacts.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. And we're also going to be talking about Furbies or furries. There's a convention of furries, and when you look at the list of stipulations and what you have to not do at a furry convention, it makes you think, ugh. And I wonder if there's a bit of a connection there between that and Kanye.
I would love it if a furry was watching the show today, because it is something that we know nothing about.
I just missed my man.
Right?
Yes.
We know nothing about that world.
Well, we know a little bit about it.
Well, not really. We know teeny bit.
What do you know about it?
Well, I know that it's people. Well, I don't know enough to say, actually, but I would love to know more about it.
People who like to dress up as characters.
But I bet you anything, if you
animals.
say furries just like to dress up as characters, that's going to be not right.
It's a form of cosplay. Well, actually, interestingly, should we start with that?
I feel it's going to be something much deeper than that. I don't think you're going to get away with saying it's just people who like to dress up as furries.
So if I was face to face with someone dressed as a furry fox and I said, you're just enjoying being a fox,
you could possibly be insulting.
Well,
but I don't know. That's why, and because I've got up late, I haven't read anything. Well,
it's interesting you should say that. Well, let's start.
So
with
does
this.
anybody know? Because I don't want to just have feel a certain way about this. I mean, the story is fantastic, whatever, and we should go into that first. But then I'd like, or if anyone's got a friend who's a furry, can you give them a call and ask them to join our live?
Tell us what you think. Let me just introduce you to the story. What's going on here? Furries have been warned not to abuse other species at a Glasgow event. It's all happening in Scotland. I do wonder whether this is partly because they knew the cat ban was coming in.
So could it be like, if you are a beagle,
yes,
you are not allowed to attack a fox?
Well, no,
because that would be like fox hunting.
I think you might be able to attack them. You just can't have sex with them.
No, it doesn't say so.
It does. Strict rules on sexual activity are
Hang
put
on,
in place.
abuse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Strict rules on sexual activity are put in place as people who identify as animals are given a code of conduct for the
I
Scottish
misunderstood
Convention.
it. I thought you meant beating them up.
Now,
so you're not allowed to have sex with a fox if you're a beagle?
No.
Oh.
But let me just, before we go into the finer details on the rules and regs of these.
I'm very behind.
It's called the Scotia Con Convention, and it's happening, if you're interested, at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Glasgow. I wonder if any of them molt. 1,200 furries are turning up. And the code of conduct warns that harassment of any kind is not tolerated, which includes race, gender, sexuality, or the species of someone's fursona.
It's a fursona.
Fursona.
So
jargon.
You're not just.
Animal.
So you are just. Oh, I don't know.
Now, but there are different layers. Some people just dress up in outfits. It's like Comic Con. It's like, what are they called when
Comic Con?
Yeah, no, but what are they called? The people who go to them, cosplayers. Some of it's like that, but some people identify as animals.
That's what I mean.
And how do you know beneath the furry outfit whether that person's just there because they're wearing a furry outfit or because they think they're a dog?
I don't know. I don't know, but I am willing to be awoken.
Right, okay. But yes, you're not allowed to piss on each other's legs and things like that.
Does it actually say that?
These are rules.
So are there some furry conventions where you are allowed to piss up each other's legs?
Well, listen to this. Appearances count, say the organisers. Characters with a very childlike animal appearance and or baby face could be considered children in a furry context, and so therefore there must be no intimacy. Yes.
Shut the front door. You're joking.
No.
Come on, can we see if there's any comments
Other
coming up at the same
species
time,
transcending sexual activity, e.g. anthros and humans, is generally allowed. Toilet-related. Chi-Chi?
Chi-Chi, get off that squirrel.
What's she got? Get off, Toffee. Toilet-related activities are highly discouraged, Nads. This includes scat, water sports, adult diapers, and vomit. We do not entirely exclude this content, but only seek to accept items with mild depictions.
Can we please look at some comments at the same time?
Yeah.
I've got no idea how people are feeling about this.
Oh, right. Teeny tiny lass. They have them in my son's secondary school. They're horrible. They growl and hiss at other students.
Oh, my God.
And the school allows them to wear tails at school.
You're
joking. Bluebell. At our local park, people were enacting out wolves in costumes, growling and howling.
No.
Police had to be called as they were going up to dogs and children.
Please tell me you're joking.
Edward Bevington, whether you like it or not, it's on the increase. My son, says Sarah D, my son has a girl at school who identifies as a wolf and howls. Is that a furry? I saw a girl with ears and a tail on in Nando's a couple of weeks. That might have just been Nads. That might have just been Nadia.
Yeah, I can get very strange when I'm hungry.
Ali P, a girl at my daughter's school identifies as a coyote. And wears, I've never known so many contributions.
Oh my God.
And wears a furry tail.
Seriously? Is there, seriously?
The school have no problem with it, but gave my daughter a detention for wearing jewelry. Well, that would be seen as prejudice. Billy Talon, welcome, matey. My neighbour identifies as a furry.
No. And what does he do?
What sort of furry?
How does it manifest?
Billy, oh, here we go. Billy Talon. She thinks she's a spirit animal furry. She dresses and tries to live like it. She feels that she isn't just a human. She feels she was born in the wrong body. Her friends have their own language.
That's what I mean, Mark. I don't think there will be people that dress up.
Yes.
Yes. And there will be people that will.
Can I just say?
And there will be people that would say that it's insulting because they do actually feel they are an animal.
Well, when Billy Talon describes his neighbour, I kind of almost slightly relate. I mean, I'd like to think we're more than just humans, because as just humans, we're pretty boring. I quite like the idea.
What are you talking about?
I'm wondering with a furry, I might fancy becoming a furry. If they approach my kids or dogs barking, they better make sure they run fast, says Victoria Moore.
We've got to look into this more.
Farida R, I do face painting at school. Business could be picking up, it seems. Zoe Agnew, I'm a penguin. We were in Gran Canaria. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Stuart G. We were in Gran Canaria, and a man in a puppy mask started licking my husband's leg. He got told where to go. Okay. And there was you having a go at me about licking your elbow yesterday. I know that's why police were called. A fight broke out with a father sticking up for his child. So this is a real thing.
Yeah, but it's still, let's not go crazy. It's going to be a teeny minority.
Well, this is a small snapshot of society, and we've had more contributions and experiences of this than almost anything else we've talked about. Do you know what?
We're going to go away.
Sonia Donovan, this is completely bonkers.
We're going to go away and we're going to find out more about this.
I think we should go to a furry convention.
I think we need to. I've heard bits and pieces, but I don't really know. Like you say, there's going to be a big difference between a cosplayer and somebody that says they identify as an animal.
A report from, I have looked a little bit into this. A report from 2004 says that only 4% of furries say there's a sexual component. So I don't think it's all pervy.
I wasn't.
I wasn't
talking about sex at all. I was talking about people that identify as animals.
I'm not saying you were, but when you look at the rules and regulations at the Crown Plaza in Glasgow, it suggests that they're all coming in for a shindig.
Oh my God!
Furry.
Do you think those rules and regulations are a bit tongue in cheek?
Yeah, maybe they're having a bit of fun with it. Other details: delegates must not come dressed in fetish gear, such as anatomically correct costumes, jock straps, or exposed buttocks. However, dog collars.
Well, but what if you're an orangutan? You'd have to have exposed buttocks.
Yeah, red bear, red arse.
You can't.
Like that time you burn your bum.
Yeah, you cannot tell somebody who identifies as an orangutan that they can't show the buttocks.
In 2023,
you might as well say orangutans are banned.
Yes.
But then, of course, they get themselves in trouble.
But I want to know, how do orangutans feel about humans occupying their species? In 2023, the Anthropomorphic Research Project, an international group of academics, highlighted problems including bigotry, discrimination, intolerance, and bullying within the fandom. Anthropomorphic. In species dysphoria, a person, like many of you have talked about children at school that identify as coyotes. In species dysphoria, a person feels that their body is the wrong species. People with the condition are sometimes known as therians. Numerous children are said to have tried to identify as animals, including foxes, dragons, birds, snakes, and sharks, although it's unclear whether they were serious. I think a lot of kids are just having a laugh. So anyway, there you go. Wow. That wasn't even in our headline. That's not even one of our titles, but it leads us rather swiftly to cats in Scotland. Who is a cat owner here? Say yes if you're a cat owner.
And if you are a cat owner, how important is it, do you think, that your dog roams the streets at night? Because apparently they don't have to do that.
No.
We think that it's an absolute primal need. I would imagine it is.
I had really extreme responses to this story. Although obviously we've got dogs and we adore our dogs, there are many times I wonder whether the very act of having a pet is deeply problematic. If we're talking about animal rights, veganism, yes, there are dogs around because they're bred, but that's an industry where people just make money. You know, there's the pet vets. It's all industry, isn't it? That's what drives pets. Let's not pretend anything else.
And the love of animals.
No. But people, innocent civilians, develop those bonds and connect with them. But
look, in Canada it's quite different. All cats are indoors.
Yeah, so my nan had a cat and she never let the cat out.
And we used to constantly say, oh, it's so cruel.
We'd always feel that it was bad, but they do call them house cats, don't they? So let me just tell you the story, and you keep your comments coming in, and I'll read it. So Furry, as households in Scotland could be banned from getting a pet cat. An animal welfare body set up to advise the Scottish government has warned that pets are causing untold damage to populations of native mammals and birds. In a new report ordered by the SNP, a possible solution is the extreme option of banning cat ownership in those areas where wildlife is most at risk. And that's I personally think, I'm going to just speak as a gardener and as a bird lover. A cat lives near us or started living near us for the first time about 2-3 years ago. And our bird population plummeted.
Yes.
I don't think that's bad.
Well, it is bad for the environment. There's no doubt about it.
So
What was it? Something. What was? How many millions of small animals are brought in every year? Was I
What,
reading
by
some-
cats?
by their cats brought to their owners? I think it's something like 70 million or something. Go down. There wasn't. It's an extraordinary number.
Oh, here we go. Some 57
700
million
million.
mammals and 27 million birds and 5 million reptiles, frogs, are brought home to pet owners each year by their cats. That's a huge number.
So with the overall annual body count of killed wild prey possibly being as high as 700 million. That's bonkers, isn't it?
So what do we do, guys?
What? And there's real animal lovers as well that campaign about this, isn't it? Say that something's got to be done about cats.
Yeah.
Because it's causing a problem to the animal
and in
infrastructure.
fact, almost, I mean, you get to the point where I was talking to your parents about it yesterday when you were upstairs, because your dad loves watching the birds in the garden and everything. And I was saying, did you know that, you know, the flat bird table is spreading bird flu, and it's killing off finches and tits and all sorts of things. Because what happens is birds go and peck the seeds. They leave a little bit of saliva. I found it even unbelievable that they have saliva. Leave a little bit of saliva, and then other birds come and peck on the same board. The hanging feeders are better, but you need to wash them. But what I'm trying to say is nearly all of our involvement with animals domestically causes problems.
Yeah.
So so then I thought, right, well, the answer's simple. We need to change. We need to not have cats. That doesn't mean you get rid of the cats. You let the cats that we've all got go.
But sort of put a stop on any more cats being owned. Is that what they mean? But what they're saying is that you just keep the cats in. Or you have a garden that is secure so they can't get out.
Because whilst I was sat there and going through the stories and I heard you snoring, I thought, ban them all. And I thought, no, what about poor people for whom cats and pets keep them company?
Think of your nan.
Their mental
Your
health.
cat was everything to her. Her cat was everything to her.
So second question for those of you in the room who have cats who said yes. Could you live, say your cat lives to full age, dies peacefully. Could you live without a cat? Could you be told that you'll never have a cat again or never have a pet?
They're also talking about banning it in just certain conservationist areas, aren't they, where they've got real problems. But I mean, you know, you have to think about these are really uncomfortable discussions.
Yeah, right.
But there's a reason why they're having them. You know, no council, no government wants to do this. It's just like there must be a serious problem for them to even be considering. Because enforcing it, how are you going to enforce it? Be a nightmare. You have to have neighbours telling on neighbours that they've got cats.
But a strong counter argument is, as rats and mice become more of a problem, surely the need for cats is stronger. So, for example, we have a fox that lives frighteningly close to us. You know that awful noise you heard the other night?
It's the cat.
No, it's the fox. Well, it wasn't a cat. Yeah, there was a fox in the front garden doing you know what. But part of me wants to live with the fox because they maintain other wildlife in the garden.
Do foxes deal with rats and mice?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they frighten them off. They frighten things off. Bells are torturous for cats, says Claire Hayward. But the cat is torturous for birds. Who are we going to prioritize? I suppose you could argue it's just dog eat dog, but it's not. It's cat eat bird. Billy Talon. I remember when I was young, my grandma declared her cat, declawed her cat so it wouldn't attack birds or animals.
But then the thing is, your cat then is vulnerable to something. It's another cat that might attack it.
Yeah. My cats were in a garden with two crows wandering around together. It's cruel to keep them in, really. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that, you know, they are talking about the ban coming in areas where the wildlife is being decimated. No, they are my babies. I have a cat run. I have three Pythagoras, Archimedes. Ooh, look at you mathematical genius. And Lulu. They're all indoors cats due to busy roads.
He says cats become part of the family like a dog, and they are incredible company. Yeah, I mean. I
don't want to get cancelled, but I do feel with a cat.
I don't want to get cancelled, but okay, go on then, get some cancelled.
When I look in most cats' eyes, every one of their every single cat's face I've looked into, there's an aspect in their face of fuck you.
Well, it's quite right because they're not our species, are they?
Well, no, maybe that's something to be admired, but they don't have that codependent look that dogs have, where they need you.
Yeah, they don't really need you.
Toffee took us to
because even
the
if you
edge
don't
of
feed
that.
them, they'll go and get some mice.
Well, cats just
So back to the beginning of the story again now.
cats don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves, I'm afraid to say. But it doesn't
No,
mean they're
but
not
some
lovely.
people do say, when I say that, people say, no, but it really does depend on the cat. There are some cats that are very loving. We've just never met loving cats. We've met angry cats.
My nan's cat used to, when we arrived, it would do this. It would scream, Thelma!
It could say Thelma.
Cats are.
I love to look
cats
at them.
Are glorious.
I love to
animals,
look at them.
Sadie
They're so beautiful, the way that they move and the way that, you know, and like when you stroke a cat that will allow it, there's nothing quite like it, but they can be quite moody.
Sadie C says, I love their arsey attitudes. I'm allergic to them. So I've got, yeah. Well, that's it. Do the bum.
That is the bum.
Oh, yeah.
Face like a cat's ass.
Like Donald Trump. Anyway, okay.
Right, let's go on to Trump then.
Let's
You've
go
done
on
a
to Trump.
segue.
Yeah, UK. Okay, well, UK could avoid the. Let's go to the man himself. When asked about whether the UK is going to be hit with tariffs, we'll explain what tariffs are. But they're basically charging. You know, when you buy something from abroad.
Yeah.
And here's a good example. So those T-shirts I'd get from that T-shirt company.
Yeah, and ever since we've come out of Brexit.
Exactly, they add tariffs. The cost of the T-shirts is
come out of Brexit. Sorry, come out of Europe.
So the original charge was £70, but obviously there's 100% tariff. So the amount you pay just to get them here is £70. That's called a tariff. What has happened? I don't order any more tops.
No, don't buy them. You used to buy them all the time.
Yeah. If one really wanted them, you would pay a little bit more. And that's where what you put tariffs on, the products you put tariffs on, is interesting and important, because if you're putting it on things like energy, which is critical, you're more likely the punter's still likely to buy it.
But they're going to hate the government for making their petrol twice the amount it was.
And also, so say he's putting 10%, I think, on fuel coming from Canada and 25% on everything else.
But they have enough fuel to look after themselves, don't they, America? Yeah. That's the thing.
So what will happen? Yeah. So what will happen is the companies also importing have to pay more to import it, and the punter is also paying more to buy it.
So America pays more too.
So the punters will pay more.
Oh, the punters, yeah.
Yeah, but the point is
you're paying a tax.
One of the other things that he's trying to do is also, and I think he could be quite clever on this, is he's trying to encourage people in America, so companies in America that are selling the same product, to reduce their prices to compete. So basically, you know, the idea is to say America makes avocados, Mexico makes avocados. You know, the avocados coming from Mexico are now going to become much more expensive because of the tariffs. They're going to be expensive for the Mexicans to export. They're going to be expensive for Americans to buy. But it would be a great opportunity for American avocado producers
to grow more avocados.
And
they can't grow enough avocados.
No, they can't.
Have you ever watched Instagram? How many avocados those girls eat?
But that's kind of what it's about. But that's not an overnight thing. And what happens in the short term is when you need to get to the time it will take to get America's, say, avocado production to the level they need to, the price of avocados will have probably made most people hate avocados. So that's the game he's playing.
And the thing is, he played this to a certain degree, didn't he, in his last presidency? And it didn't go so badly for him. And it's like, so what they're saying now is he's just gone tariff mad. And it's like, it's a major bullying tactic, isn't it? Like any country that doesn't do what he says, right, massive tariff.
If I'm really honest, I mean, someone's just said it there. This isn't me chiming in with Trump, because I just don't like the way he goes about anything. It's like Canada said, if you want to work with us, why not work with us rather than just slapping a non-negotiable?
Starting off with a...
But the tariffs that he's putting on for Mexico and Canada are massively tied up with the punishments. They're punishments for what he perceives and Americans perceive to be their inaction around dealing with the fentanyl. You know, the supplies of fentanyl coming in illegally.
If you don't know what that is, it's a lethal drug that has, again, another drug that is sweeping across America and ruining it.
But again, the thing with Trump
and it's made its way here now as well.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the thing with Trump is, and we were talking about this last week in one of the coffee mornings, about how we only ever home in on immigrants that commit crimes, not the vast majority of immigrants who don't. And what we never home in on is the citizens of a country who commit crime, because we're always busy pointing at the immigrants who commit crime.
Sherry, she's Canadian, I think. Hi, Sherry.
Most of my socials are full of Canadians being outraged and basically boycotting American goods as much as we can. Well, It's interesting you say that. I think what's going to happen for Trump, what I think could happen, the Israel-Gaza crisis connects with this because huge numbers of humanity. I mean, I am an enormous fan of American culture, Americana. We both are. We've connected a lot. We've loved traveling to LA, New York. I've filmed over there a lot. I've worked over there a lot. I love the country. I love the people. I've filmed in the kind of, you know, the mid states and the lower states. I've filmed all over. And there's something about America that's, you know, the best of America is the best you can get. But the whole Israel-Gaza thing and being in New York last year, I'm now not I'm turned off. Yeah, I've got the ick.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, any American fans, I've got the ick with this country too. So it's not about national pride or anything like that. It's just like, I've got the ick.
It's just so dangerous though, isn't it? It's just so dangerous.
What?
Just division.
But I think more and more people will just go, do you know what? I'm not going to buy American.
So Sherry there from Canada, welcome. How lovely. I love that we've got people from all over the world. Because I said to Mark, so is he literally demanding that Canada just becomes American?
Well,
it's like, is it as insane as it sounds? Or is that?
I think there's two or three possible. Having seen how Trump operated in his first term, I think I don't know if Michu, any other observers of the kind of political details here agrees. What he could be up to is he's done this, and if you look online, all of the stock markets have not plummeted massively because I think they all think
they're a bit wise to his tricks.
I think this could be a bit of market manipulation. He'll cause a crash. He'll wait 2 or 3 days. You could find that by the end of this week, a bit like the Colombia crisis, it's all resolved because Canada will come back behind the back door and go, all right, we'll put another 100 million into stopping fentanyl. He'll be able to turn to his electorate, Trump, and go, victory, sorted it, got them to work harder. This is tough. That could be one choice.
In the meanwhile, in that dip, then he buys on the dip.
Yeah, billionaires and hedge funds and money.
All his friends will come in on the dip and
will be taking advantage of the dip in the market. Right. Absolutely.
And then it comes back up, and
that's one choice. The other choice could be that he's absolutely willing to take America into really difficult inflationary situation in the short term in order to make America more self-sufficient. And the thing I was just briefly, I can't remember who said it, isn't what he's doing shouldn't we all seek to import less? I think we should all seek to import less. And you could argue that what he's doing is an extraordinarily blunt way of trying to do that. I think we do need to lean less and have more food security as nations.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if every country ate more seasonally and I didn't want 100 choices of everything. And I mean, that's not why he's doing this, guys, you know. Yes, surely the world would be in a better state. Certainly when you're getting, you know, fruits flown, you know, thousands of miles just so you can have them all year round when really you're not supposed to. It's not good for your health. It's not good for the planet, all of that. But this isn't something you can just suddenly do. No. You know, this is something that has to happen over a period of time because the world isn't set up for it. I mean, I saw him this morning ranting about how Europe, we buy everything from Europe.
On the tariffs, would you consider taxing the UK, for example?
Well, we're going to see what happens. It'll happen, but we're going to we'll see how things work out. It might happen with them, but it will definitely happen with the European Union. I can tell you that because they've really taken advantage of us. And, you know, we have over a $300 billion deficit. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm products. They take almost nothing. And we take everything from them, millions of cars, tremendous amounts of food and farm product. So the UK is way out of line, and we'll see the UK, but European Union is really out of line. UK is out of line, but I'm sure I think that one can be worked out. But the European Union it's an atrocity, what they've done.
So what he's trying to say, and just to slam that into the back of the net,
holding Nigel Farage's hand.
Exactly. UK could avoid the US tariffs, the atrocity EU is facing, because Starmer has been nice. He's been nice.
Wow.
I think what Trump...
Does this whiff a little bit of dictatorship?
Yeah.
How nice you have this person disappear for me.
This distinction, this driving a wedge between the UK and Europe is strategic, because Starmer is having to look towards Europe because, as we've discovered, Brexit has knocked 10% off our growth, of our economy. Starmer's looking to get closer to Europe in a way that isn't kind of provocative.
Hi, Karis.
And means that reform and everyone else goes, yeah, see, they're undoing Brexit. Trump wants to maintain that sort of difference between the UK and Europe. So this is strategic. This is a strategic game plan to try and prevent Starmer getting closer to Europe. So Starmer is in a bit of Starmer's kind of caught in aspect like that. He's kind of like trapped in amber, not quite knowing where to move, because he's about to. It's interesting that this has come out today, and he's in Europe now, Starmer, negotiating a closer relationship with them. So, so yeah, I mean, it's basically.
Well, and Trump doesn't want that, because he wants Farage in, doesn't he? He wants, and this is, I mean, like, you're so right. It's like that was like a little shout out for Farage, wasn't it?
It was, basically. And you're right, Michu. I hate to say it, this is a mini Brexit advantage for the moment.
For the moment.
But it throws a complete, what I call in cricket, a googly at the Labour government, because they've got to play this really carefully.
We might say, and as many people do keep saying, Trump is only there for 4 years, but A, we don't know how he's going to bend the rules on that. B, is there's no Democratic stars coming through. They're going to do exactly the same, the Democrats, the next time, aren't they, as they did last time. And he could well be building his dynasty, and the next American president could be totally along the same lines and beliefs. So
who thinks this could happen? And I was talking to your mum about this briefly.
Scary.
Who thinks that what Trump could do with his extremely, let's say, blunt and kind of imprecise kind of actions with ICE, the going in and dealing with migration, sending them to Guantanamo, going into cities, if he creates enough kind of unrest in the US, does anyone think he could get things to a place where there's enough civil unrest where he could declare a state of emergency? And in that instance, he might be able to pull in, because few people realize this, but Roosevelt in World War II was in power ultimately for something like 13 years due to there being a war. He's the only American president who had a much longer.
It's good for leaders, isn't it? Same with Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, conflict allows you to kind of bypass the rules of democracy, because war. And my worry is
lots of pundits are saying it's very worrying the way he and his team, you listen how often they say invasion. His press secretaries will say invasion, or his team, whenever referring to the Mexican situation, where they say an invasion. And it's like, it's not an invasion.
Yeah.
America hasn't been invaded, but it's almost like that drip, drip, drip of the word, because as soon as they have an invasion and they have a warlike situation, all bets are off.
Yeah.
He can do what he wants. And so it's really interesting. I'm so glad I heard that person say that, because now I just hear it every time. Invasion.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, look, lots of. I've even floated the thought.
Guys,
floated the thought that baked into some of what Trump's saying is not an unsensible thing. We should all become less and less dependent on imports and exports. I mean, do you remember for so many years it was sold to us the joy of a global village and all that kind of stuff? I think the failure and the falling apart of the planet is going to be the sort of ability of unequal parts of the world exporting and importing to other parts of the world. It kind of I just think we need to be more self-sufficient, not entirely, but more self-sufficient. I'm just, whilst Nads is away, I'm just going to show you some photos, just harking back to the Furry story, just so you can get a grab on what some of them like. Oh, Christ, sorry, that went fast. They're quite pretty, aren't they? There's furries all kind of dancing, and there's some there, and there's one with a guitar. Holding hands with their tails aloft. And good God. Yeah, just thought I'd give you some context in case you couldn't, for those of you listening on podcasts, in case you couldn't imagine humans in animal outfits. We've just shown a fair few of them. Let's have a look at the Grammys, shall we? The Grammys. Hey, I'm waiting for you. The Grammys. So I'm just getting it up. Beg your pardon. So I'm now going to play you some footage. What do they eat? Raw meat. You need to dress up as a furry. Zoe says I need to dress up as a furry. What sort of animal would we dress up as? I think Nadia is very much a mouse. Nadia looks like, I think, in Tom and Jerry, a mouse. What furry would you be? I think you'd be a mouse, like Tom and Jerry.
A lion.
A lion.
A lioness to protect my babies.
Wow. Okay. What would I be? I think I'd like to be an Alsatian.
Oh no, you're not an Alsatian.
A beagle.
No, you're a Labrador.
Oh, they're boring as fuck.
They're not. Well, actually, a Labrador's. Well, let's not get into Labradors.
All
We
right.
haven't got time.
Okay, let's just quickly show. Here's a couple of images from the red carpet. This is Chapelle Rowan, looking like
God, I love that.
ivory. I love the
that
dress. Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
This is Jaden Smith. What was most alarming about Jaden
What
Smith
is
at the
that? A
Grammys last
castle?
night? He's got a castle on his head.
What's the relevance?
Well, more worrying.
Is this the one where people always dress up like ludicrously over the top?
No,
Is this the one
that's the Met Ball.
Kim.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I've got moving footage. Check this out.
Willow, right there. Willow, on your left, the shoes a little bit. Over that shoulder, Willow.
Who's that?
Willow.
Oh, I love that.
Jaden Smith is coming in soon.
Doesn't look very happy in that.
You wouldn't bring out and something like that.
Well, but you, I want them
What worried me
knickknacks.
most about him was his hand.
Right, guys, your left, please. Hey, Willow.
Willow and Jaden.
I feel really sorry for them. I know I shouldn't.
Oh, he's wearing a house on his head. I feel sorry for
I
him.
don't know. Because he never wanted to do that film, did he? And his dad made him do it.
Oh, what the one?
The karate one.
How many rooms do you think are in the house? Is it semi-detached? What?
Listen, it's showbiz.
No.
It's entertainment.
All right, okay.
Go on the red carpet. You know, it's a certain kind of entertainment.
There's Billie Eilish. There's Billie
Billie
Eilish. Looking, I don't know. There's strange glasses.
Not entertaining.
Lady Gaga looking very goth. Very goth. She did a rendition of
I tell you what,
California Dreaming with
black just does not work on the red carpet because we can't see any. You can't see it.
anything. Well-
People always say don't wear black on the red
Well, it
carpet.
would if there was a white background. I don't know who the fuck this is, but I just had to pull him up. Look at this, Sean Everett.
My friend Simone would do anything for that code.
Sean Everett, but look at the gloves. It's like he's got a pair of marigolds on.
But it's great, isn't it? Because you want a bit of a spectacle. If everyone was just looking smooth and sharp.
Okay, well, on that note, then we can totally tolerate this. This is Kanye arriving
Are we
with
watching the whole clip?
Bianca Censori.
Watch the whole clip because I just want you to really look at their faces, and try and get some analysis on what's going here because hashtag we're confused, aren't we? We're conflicted.
Hashtag we're very confused.
We've talked about this before on here about their relationship. I mean, the thing is, what business is anybody else about anybody's relationship? But when you put this sort of thing out there on the red carpet, people are going to analyze.
When I first saw this, and I posted it last night, we posted it as a shorts, and I found myself obviously looking at her, and then I was looking at him on a second.
He was looking at her a lot. He was chuckling and chuckling and chuckling. I'm just trying to understand it. He said, "Yeah, you're just trying to understand it. That's the 15th time we've looked at it, trying to understand."
But like Zoe said, we were trying to think, how
beautiful.
could we make Nadia do this? But then you don't wear it. There's nothing to adapt.
Well,
or to innovate.
what you would do is wear a pair of tights over your whole body. That's what I've done before with Kim Kardashian.
Okay, but you've done it before.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
not like that.
so the second time I was looking at this, I was looking at him. So look at him as much as you look at her, and we'll play it twice. I couldn't see any sort of frisson of excitement even for him, if this is his thing.
But okay, go on, play.
Ready?
Now, apparently, they are looking. But she has got something on her. A pair of engineer types.
It's so transparent that all social media have to. I actually did the disclaimer. I think I'm really admiring my own relation.
You said you could have left the paper not too much.
Very fine, but look, so the Kanye's looking quite pleasant, pleased here.
But an hour or
And just walked off.
so the shot the other way, which literally sent shudders through my body, there are so many photographers and so many people. And, you know, being a Z-list celebrity and having gone on the red carpet a few times, and you stand there and you feel naked, right? You're worried about just even a little bra strap. You're worried about your like lip twitching a bit because you feel so nervous. So before anything else, bloody well done, Bianca, for being able to stand actually naked.
Yes.
Because people always say, the thing is, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, you feel naked standing there.
Yes.
So is a part of this saying that? that we are looked at to such a degree that we feel naked as women. So that could be possibly a political feminist.
From Kanye and her.
No, I'm giving all the different. So could that be something that she could possibly say? Like if I were to go out truly naked on a red carpet, you know, everything hanging as it hangs, you know, just like holding my body just as I would if I was standing in the bathroom by myself and did that, and to say this is how much we have to hide as a political statement. I would love to do something like that. There's no way I could do it. I mean, I would just be mortified. I would just couldn't do it. But so that could be one thing that they're doing. The other thing could be that they are into this, that it's a sexual thing between them and that it's a turn on for her to be exposed in front of everybody. Now, fancy, just a fancy that is being lived out further. It could be complete coercion.
Thirsting? Is it when you put someone else as a thirst? Is it a thirst?
You're thirsty, isn't it?
It's thirsty. You know, I mean, I think he definitely gets a thrill from the idea of her being looked at.
But you don't know that.
Well, no, because he said it.
Oh,
yeah. No.
Okay, maybe you do.
No, but it's interesting because Abby Reid, for example, has said we've got to go as well. I'm looking at the time. Abby Reid has said abuse. It's abuse. It's 11:30.
Oh, I've got to go.
Yeah. We've got to go. But just quickly on this, I think we have to go back to this because what if she's into it?
What if she's into it? What if she's being completely coercively controlled? We don't know. Can we do this again? Can we finish this tomorrow? Because it's a really good conversation.
Let's do a showbiz chat later, just a brief chat on it. Anyway, guys, we've literally got to go. We're running late. Lots of love, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.